Sparklestorm, and I am super excited about the video today because this is the last rebuild in the Swinging Vine Zoo rebuild project. And then we are going to be moving on to something else that I am really excited to share with you. So for today, I have a little intro for you that I had recorded before I did the rebuild. And then I jump right into the speed build portion of the video. And then if you'd like, you can skip right to the end. I have another cinematic tour of this habitat for you. Our last rebuild in this zoo is going to be the here we go. There we go with my mouse. I don't know where I am. Okay, here we go. The saltwater crocodile. So this is what I've got so far. This was, I think, already rebuilt from the very first idea or concept that I had, but I really wanted an underwater viewing area, and this was very early on in the game, or my playing of the game. This is what I came up with, and clearly it is not ideal. Like, we have not very good sight lines of the animal under the water. There aren't any animals in here right now. I've already actually gone and boxed them all up, but it's just not a really good height for the water to be right at kind of waist level here. Or like, it's good for kids, I guess, but so I need to do a little bit of work here. And then I was thinking that right now I have two pools, a north pool and a south pool. So I was thinking actually just to downsize to this area here and then connect this river that runs along the outside of the chimpanzee habitat to this part here, and then maybe try to somehow weave it through. But I don't know if we'll do that. But at least I'm just going to downsize to this one area and connect these two pools or rivers. And I think that's it. So let's get started. For this habitat, what I really wanted to do was make sure that my guests could have a good underwater view of the crocodiles. So I started by completely flattening the terrain and resculpting the pool area. And then also the second major thing that I was doing was the river in the background. So changing that second pool for the crocodiles into joining it up with the river that comes from the chimpanzee house. So that was a pretty big task, actually, get that to all line up and work well together. And it took some work for sure to get those two bodies of waters to actually work. So at one point, you can see I created this land bridge or barrier so that I could have two separate pools because it just wasn't working. And then I do go back and fix that, and I do end up getting it to work as one continuous river, which obviously it looks better. And then on this side, tunneling through to the western lowland gorillas, and then beyond them and out past the mountain that sits over by the orangutan jungle. And so then the river kind of empties into a lake over there. And I like the way that the whole thing frames the zoo, and just gives it that border. And I just really like the way that it looks. It really makes the zoo look finished to have that river going around the outside of the whole entire park. And working with these rocks was a lot of fun, trying to create this like retaining wall, and making sure that it didn't look too repetitive. So the biggest challenge I find with making like a big space like that that's covered in rock is just that sometimes it can look really, really repetitive. And so taking the time to go back in and turn and twist some rocks just to break up that repetitiveness can really make the whole thing look so much more realistic. And so, yeah, it's really worth it to go back and spend a little extra time doing that. For their hard shelter, I really liked the one I had made for the Galapagos giant tortoises, so I just copied that one and brought it over here and made a couple of changes so that it worked in this space. So replaced one of the walls with a door wall so that I could have the keeper actually enter the habitat into the hard shelter. Once I got the pool set, I thought it might be neat to have a river coming off of the main body of water so that the crocodiles would have a more shallow area to splash around in. And the guests that are up on that path nearby can actually see the crocodiles then on land and in the shallow area near the land. After all of that, I thought that my pool would be deep enough that my guests could see underwater, but it still was not quite deep enough. So I had to go back and rework the pathway and just really lower this viewing area even more. And so luckily, it wasn't too tricky, and the path did go back into place not too badly. This was a lot of fun to decorate this area, like gardening, and I liked adding some of the plants that I didn't actually have in the habitats so much. So it's nice to have this common space that I could add some of those other plants, like the flowers and the little purple flowers. And there's a pretty little yellow flower that I added in there as well. Yeah, I really like the way this ended up looking. It just looked very lush and tropical. All right, well, I think I've run out of things to talk about for this build, so I'm going to leave you with some lovely Planet Zoo music. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed these videos as much as I've enjoyed making them and posting them and sharing them with you. And if you have, then stay tuned because there is a new series coming. My next zoo, I am super excited to share it with you. So for now, please enjoy the rest of this video and the tour of the saltwater crocodiles at the end of this video. And then we'll see you next time for the final tour of the finished, completed, rebuilt, upgraded Swinging Vine Zoo.